Alrighty, both these guys are ready, but we're loading on in. Spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map. Let me just make sure that we are actually in the game. Get rid of that, Spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map. Playing for Team Root. It's puCK. And his opponent spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map. Also playing for Team Root. It's SuperNova. So we got ourselves a Terran versus Protoss. We've got ourselves a clan match here. I know a lot of fans for both of these guys out in the match. Both of them being streamers. Both of them stream around this time. We are finally going to be getting on into it. It should be a very exciting match here. Now, the question is, what is each of these players going to do? They both have their own unique style. Now, we'll see. Alright, SuperNova going for that barracks and then the gas. puCK, on the other hand, going for the gateway and the early probe scout, wanting to know about potential proxies or anything. It's the best of 7, so I think it's safe to say that we will be seeing a few proxies in this match. Okay, but yeah, puCK moving on in with his probe scout, seeing that SuperNova is actually building it in his own base, which for Terrans is a bit of a rarity these days. But in all seriousness, I mean, Terrans they go for the proxy barracks out on the map a lot more than they used to do. I mean, it's been like a niche build for a long time, but Terrans have just started throwing it out pretty much all the time, actually, which is a pretty interesting development in the meta. But yeah. Now puCK on his side of the map, just getting up that Cybercore first. Actually showing a lot of respect here. Just going for that Cybercore pylon and then likely the expansion. I mean, there's always a chance he could throw down like a proxy pylon and a Stargate or something, but so far showing a lot of respect. He's coming on in with the probe, interestingly enough. I mean, that Reaper's going to pop out relatively soon. He could be saving energy just for a recall here on that probe, or just wanting to see and get out, because that Reaper will be able to chase that probe down, so he will be losing it, actually. I mean, unless that Reaper takes the wrong path, and it does. puCK may actually be able to hide this probe. Is he going to find a spot for it? The Reaper's turned around. puCK needs to move that probe. I think the Reaper's gonna have it. Or no, SuperNova. Yeah, there we go. He does find it. And puCK is actually going for this one base Stargate here, so he will eventually throw down a Nexus, but it is going to be later. And he's actually going for the Zealot's sort of adept follow-up to this, which basically means he's going to be pushing units out across the map. SuperNova's really going to have to be prepared for this. And he did just go straight for that reactor into that factory, and actually going for an extra barracks. So, I mean, I think the factory was... Yeah, the factory was definitely before the other barracks, but this is an interesting build. However, now this adept going to be shading on out. puCK does actually confirm to keep that shade out. He's got another adept coming out, which will help deal with the Reaper, but this Zealot's going to be coming across the map, and we'll see what it's going to be able to get done. A bunker is on the way for SuperNova, but there's also a Wood-of-Mine too, so we'll see. Now, this adept is going to shut down the Reaper of SuperNova. Picks that off, which is very nice for him. The Nexus is on the way. And now we've got this Zealot working away in this bunker. It's forced SuperNova up to the high ground. The Adept's in here too, so denying a nice bit of mining there on SuperNova's side of the map. puCK, meanwhile, he's also getting up a Phoenix, not going into an Oracle or anything, interestingly enough. Now, SuperNova on his side of the map with the double barracks, it's a really interesting play. I mean, he's getting Combat Shield. Okay, is this just going to be like tanks and Marines with Combat Shield? Combat Shield does research much quicker than Stim does. It does it about 40 seconds sooner. So that's always very interesting as far as the build goes. So SuperNova throwing out a bit of an interesting build. Every now and then this build sort of odd like this gets picked up amongst all the pros. But SuperNova, he is just going to be trying to have a lot of health on these Marines, hitting a very specific timing. Now, puCK is coming in with his Phoenix. Of course, he's not going to be able to tell that it is Combat Shield, but he's going to see a factory with a tech lab. He's going to see Stim research going on at the tech lab, so he's likely going to assume it's going to be a tank Stim push. And it's just going to be a tank Combat Shield push that will hit a little bit earlier. And then we'll see. How's puCK going to be able to sort of time out against this? Now, puCK is going into a Mass Phoenix play, which isn't the best versus Mass Marines, because, I mean, they can always pick up tanks versus incoming attacks and stuff, but you do generally need something else in order to make a hold like this work. Now, the Phoenix are coming on in. We're going to see what they're able to find. puCK finds himself an SCV. He's going to see all those Marines there and definitely know that SuperNova is looking to pile on the aggression at some point. Now, that Combat Shield will be finishing up for SuperNova, so he may just be moving on out relatively soon. I mean, puCK does have these Phoenix, and he's got very good control with them, so he will be able to come on and see exactly what's going on, and he eventually will be able to spot the move out when that does happen. SuperNova is not going to be able to get the jump on his opponent, but SuperNova, I mean, he may just actually play this passively, just wait till he has a much bigger force. He's getting up missile turrets in his base. He's just going into stim now. Widowmine does catch a Phoenix there, which is very nice. I believe puCK may have gotten that. Yeah, I did get the Widowmine there. But SuperNova now is going to be moving out. He's going to have stim researching for the follow-up, but he is going to be trying to hit this push, and puCK sees this. I mean, he may come back, try and maybe pick off a Medivac, something like that, pick off some reinforcements, but he's fully aware that this attack is incoming. He's getting out an Immortal, which is really going to help out. He's picking up a Marine that's rallying. And we'll see what else he's going to be able to get. Going to find 2 more Marines across the map. Is he going to lift them up? I guess one of them. Looks like he will get both of them. Oh, actually eats the Widowmine shot there. That Widowmine did never die, so that Widowmine getting some good value. Now suddenly puCK's got to make this hold happen. He's getting up 2 shield batteries. One of them already done, the other on the way. Now he's got the Phoenix, he's got the Immortal. Now this is a push without stim, so keep in mind these Marines, I mean, while they're tanky, their DPS isn't quite as high. They don't sort of have the snap ability of normal stimmed Marines, so SuperNova's hitting a very odd timing right now. Eventually he'll have stim if this push goes on long enough, but puCK is going to want to shut it down before that. He's going to want to try and get the Phoenix on the tanks, and he's actually going to be doing just that. Very nice pick off there for puCK. I mean, SuperNova is focusing down some of the Phoenix, but a lot of the Marines are going down. The Immortals had time to close the distance here, so it can put out a lot of damage, and these are Marines without stim. puCK really should focus down that one siege tank, gets one of them. The Phoenix lifting up the other tanks, and it looks like that he will be able to shut this down. Oh, there's 5 Marines which are going to run home, but SuperNova, his attack didn't get what he wanted there. I mean, he had a few more units rallying across the map, but he's going to have to find some damage somewhere else, and suddenly puCK, he's started to build this Immortal backbone. He's building more Phoenix, getting up at 3rd base. Okay, now he's on 3 gateways, he's getting up to Twilight, so puCK is really happy to tech. He's getting up his forges and stuff. The question is, SuperNova may be able to, say, get a good drop-off or get a nice pick-off, depending if puCK sort of relaxes on his army a little bit, because it is only a Sentry, 2 Adepts, and 2 Immortals right now, and SuperNova will have a handful of bio that can always take engagements. The question is, where will the Phoenix be for this? Okay, now puCK is on patrol with his Phoenix. He's looking because he knows SuperNova is going to want to get some more damage. On SuperNova's side of the map, though, he is actually going for a 3rd command center, which I think is a very mature follow-up for something like this. Sometimes Terrans would just say, all right, I got to keep going. I got to make something happen. But SuperNova's just realizing that he's going to be a little bit behind, but he's also making up for it with this command center. But he is still going to have to find something in this game later on, because he can't just let puCK get comfortable. He is moving in right now. He focuses down 1 unit there. He's got a fair bit of bio right now. puCK's actually down on supply. He's forced to retreat, but puCK does have these 3 Immortals, which are going to be so critical. However, SuperNova has 5 Widowmines in this army, which is going to be tough for puCK to deal with. The 3rd base is actually going to be under fire, and if SuperNova can pick this off, that's going to be absolutely huge. Phoenix are actually going on in to absorb pretty much all the Widowmine shots, and now suddenly the Immortals are here, but there may actually be too much for SuperNova right now. I think puCK may have overextended with this defense. GG. SuperNova takes the first game with a nice bio push. I mean, puCK did a very good job holding the first wave, but maybe not taking the second one seriously enough. Okay, now we're just going to hop server here. But very well played there by SuperNova, making that push happen. We'll get these guys in on that. Thanks to everyone for tuning on in, by the way. I hope you're enjoying the games now that we're actually finally in on them. That was a good first one. I mean, it certainly could go either way this series, I think. I mean, we'll see. Okay, yeah, thanks everyone for the nice feedback in the chat. Okay, we're just going to find out the next map, then we'll get on into it. It's a best of 7, so puCK has room to bring this back. I mean, he is a very solid player, but I mean, SuperNova is sort of a mixed bag. He can really bring out any kind of play that he wants to. I mean, yeah, as he is a guy who does play a lot of styles, so puCK does have to be on his toes a little bit for that. And that was a bit of an odd bio push, so I mean, it's tough for Protoss to be completely comfortable for something like that. Okay, the next map's going to be Fracture. We're going to get these guys on into it as soon as we can. Hope you guys are enjoying the games. I certainly am enjoying casting them. It's nice that we're finally getting this done. It was originally planned for Friday, but it did have to be delayed. But still, we're making the games happen. That's what really matters here. Now, SuperNova and puCK gonna get them into the lobby. Getting a few follows as well. Thank you guys for that. Looks like we had Gear717 follow, Dust42, and Albatross X3 follow. All right. But we'll get these guys on into the lobby, and it's a best of 7, so this one could this could be a fairly long series. Just getting everyone on into the game. Okay, we are loading on into the next game. Thanks to everyone for tuning on in. Also, pardon me. Also, big thanks to Discode there. He's actually the guy who put up the initial $50 for the puCK SuperNova show match. So I'm sure he's probably quite glad that we're getting these matches done now too, but okay. Now this guy spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. It's a bit of a root grudge match. It's SuperNova and his opponent spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. It's puCK, aka Pillow on his Korean server account. But puCK isn't, I mean, the reason why I thought a show match like this would be a good thing, it's because puCK and SuperNova, they both play on each other's servers. puCK ladders on Korea at times, SuperNova ladders on NA at times. So I figured they'd both be comfortable with this camera. Thank you very much. Oh, apparently we had a nice OBS crash there. I apologize for that. It could be a scene switcher thing. I mean, I will have to look into that. I do apologize to everyone for that. It wasn't the wrong button. It was just OBS. OBS seems to like crashing on me. But that's a good thing about having you guys in chat. You're really helping me out, letting me see that, because I do read chat, and so we can know things like this are happening. Now we're seeing a bit of a double proxy here. Looks like puCK going for 2 gateways. I imagine he'll get a cyber core after this and maybe just go for a double stalker push. Whereas SuperNova on his side of the map, he's playing blind. puCK is going for a quick zealot. And we'll see if he goes for a second zealot. I mean, yeah, he is. So puCK going for a double zealot chrono boost. This is going to be pretty tough on SuperNova. And this is going to be interesting. I mean, who knows? This could be like a legit counter to this kind of build. But it definitely is related to the scene switcher, that crash. I have no luck with Starcraft 2 scene switchers, but okay, now SuperNova, he is scared. He's getting up a bunker. puCK, interestingly enough, going for a wall off. Cancels the bunker there, but gets a pylon up on the high ground. So this is going to make things interesting. SuperNova, he's got his Reaper done, and now he's returning his barracks back home. He's getting up a factory. This probe is here for puCK, so I'm interested to see, will SuperNova be able to break this bunker? He can always start, or puCK will be able to start working away on these SCVs. He gets the one building the bunker, which is so critical. Meanwhile, another Zealot coming on in is going to add a lot of DPS to this. Is it going to go down? If this bunker goes down, this is going to be absolutely huge, and I think puCK's going to be able to get it, and he does. Now, this is going to be very troublesome for SuperNova right now. He's got the Reaper and he's microing back. He's getting out a Hellion, but the follow-up is going to be the problem. It's going to be the Stalkers, and the fact that the bunker's been canceled is the main issue here. And now comes in a Stalker, which is going to have so much micro ability against this. The pylon on the high ground is also supplying puCK with the high ground vision, and suddenly he's able to pick off a few SCVs so far. He actually catches the Hellion on the wrong side of the map. He can focus that down as the Hellion is trapped there, so he will be able to get that, and that's huge. I mean, even a Hellion adds a bit of DPS. Now, there's 2 Stalkers on the door of SuperNova. He's following this up with a Cyclone. Now, I mean, we'll see how many Stalkers is puCK going to be able to have. He's beginning to work on this other bunker. I mean, SuperNova's had a fair few bunkers canceled this game, but now puCK coming on in with 3 Stalkers. However, he does need to be prepared for when this Cyclone pops out, and he is already planning for that. He's getting ready to retreat. He was working away on the supply depot, but He's starting to pull back now, and I mean, this pylon is his high ground vision. It will go down, but he picks off a few more SCVs, so he's killed off like 6 SCVs this game. And now puCK on his side of the map, what else is he going for? I mean, he did commit a fair bit to this, but now he's following it up with the Twilight Council. So we'll see what the tech of choice is after that. Reaper is moving out for SuperNova, which is actually a very big deal right now. puCK trying to break up this ramp, but there's actually the Cyclone there actually getting a lot of damage off, and another Cyclone's going to pop out. So puCK, I mean, that might have been a bit of overstepping there. And now he's going to be in a bit of trouble, actually, because, I mean, there's 2 Cyclones out on the map. He's got the Stalkers to pull back and defend, but a Reaper's going to be getting on into his main. Warp Gate is just starting, so SuperNova seems like he may have weathered the storm right now. Okay, now, puCK does recall, which is a good move. Get these Stalkers home quicker. Begin chasing down that Reaper. Not quite going to get it, though, which is unfortunate for him. He actually wants to try and shoot that. Oh, and he actually delays the Reaper. SuperNova was trying to get that probe and avoid it, but puCK actually helps him pick off that. And now we'll see what else is going to be on the way here. I mean, SuperNova is going to have out this double Cyclone, going to go for a drop. I mean, there's only 3 Stalkers here for puCK, so this could be a little rough. He's following it up with Blink. He's following it up with a Robo. However, I mean, only 3 Stalkers, and he's actually going to walk right by this Medivac, which is going to cause a lot of trouble here. Okay. Alrighty, now Medivac's coming on in here. It's going to force puCK to pull his probes right now. He can always focus down a pylon or something like that. SuperNova getting some good counter damage done. Meanwhile, puCK is now coming in. Probes are pulled versus these Cyclones. I mean, Stalker's not horrible versus Cyclones, but they generally don't trade on par with them. So 5 probes going down there, which is pretty rough for puCK. Now he's getting out some more Stalkers. He will be able to make an Immortal, make some Observers, but I mean the follow-up push from SuperNova is going to be looking pretty strong, as he is going for a Cloak Banshee, going for a tank. He's got all these Cyclones out. So I think the question is, where's puCK going to put his Observer? puCK has a lot of shield batteries at his natural, and when I say a lot, I mean 2. That's definitely more than the normal amount. He's also getting 1 in his main base, so he is looking good to defend this follow-up right now, and SuperNova's natural base is a fair bit later. But here comes SuperNova. He actually scouts out these gateways, so puCK's going to be very short on tech right now, and he's actually going to be in a lot of trouble as far as his production goes, because having those 2 gateways unpowered, having his Cybercore found, is going to cause him a lot of trouble. He's got 4 Stalkers. He's got a 5th one coming down, but now there's out a tank. He's going to have Blink, which will help him out, but maybe he can get a pick off, but it's going to be looking pretty rough. Now there's the Banshee heading on into the main base. The shield battery is going to be a godsend for puCK in order to help defend from this. However, he does have to get these Stalkers back there. Just even 1 or 2 in order to push this back. Now he had the Observer out on the map, but where is it? He's actually got 2. 1 in the main base, but he has to respond to this. Thankfully for him, there is this shield battery. Otherwise, he'd be losing so many more probes, but the Banshee is beginning to work on some of these. The Observer is coming on in, but suddenly puCK actually didn't have anything at the natural to defend here, and SuperNova really putting a hurting on puCK. I mean, the Observer is going to allow him to clean up this Banshee, but the rest of the army here at his natural is going to cause him a lot of trouble. The Immortal will be able to dish out a fair bit of damage versus these Cyclones, but it's going to be tough for puCK. He's going to have to micro perfectly. The Immortal comes forward. He actually blinks on top of the tank, which I think is a good move. Now he focuses down the weakened Cyclone, but the tank actually gets off an extra shot, and that's a big deal. And suddenly there's not enough production here for puCK, and SuperNova taking the 2-0 lead here. Okay. So we'll be hopping on over. We'll be hopping on over into the other server. Now, it is going to be on the North American server. puCK will have the home field advantage. SuperNova will have the map pick. But like I said, it's not a big deal for these guys being on the wrong server, I don't think, because they do practice. And that's I mean, normally I wouldn't organize a show match between 2 guys who are on different servers just for the fairness aspect. All right. We're getting everyone on in here. Waiting on SuperNova to pick the next map, and then we'll be getting on into it. Just waiting on getting on into the next game. Appreciate everyone tuning on out. Now we're going to have to see, is puCK going to be able to bring it back? I'll also have a quick look here. Make sure, take a look into the scene switcher. Ah, there we go. That explains the crash. The old junky scene switcher was trying to sabotage us, but it is no more. So, won't be having that crash anymore. Or shouldn't be. Do appreciate everyone on tuning on in, though. It is a bit of a later event, but it's awesome that there still is so many of you guys tuning on in. Alrighty. We're loading on into the next game. It's puCK versus SuperNova. Alrighty. It's a best of 7. This guy spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map is currently up 2-0. It's SuperNova. And his opponent spawning up in the top right-hand side of the map. It's puCK. Alright. So we'll see, what is puCK going to throw out this game? Move on out with a very early scout once more. SuperNova, on the other hand, is going to be hiding his barracks. puCK placing his gateway in a normal spot, unlike the previous game. Now, puCK is scouting out, being very careful, Protoss players. I mean, they've been sending out earlier and earlier scouts than they used to, just based on the fact that Terran has been incredibly cheesy lately. Now, puCK is coming in with his probe, but it's likely just going to go to the main base if I had to guess. He'll see that the barracks is out on the map, just sort of for normal expansion time. That's usually when the Protoss wants their probe to get on in there, so they can say whether they want to build a cyber core or whether they want to build a nexus. Now, the lack of seeing anything is going to indicate for puCK that he probably is going to want to build a cyber core before he goes for that nexus. Just, he's not going to be able to find the barracks, but he'll know that it's proxied somewhere out on the map. He immediately starts his zealot here, so playing it very safe. Also going for the nice gateway cyber pylon wall. Just blocking one of these Reaper cliffs. Something very nice to do on the map, blue shift. Probe working on this supply depot. Now going to begin working away on this factory here. Zealot now moving across the map for puCK. And meanwhile, he's also got a probe moving to the north. I'm not sure if this is going to be for nefarious purposes, but the lack of a Stargate or anything just yet means that it always could be. However, he does retreat with that probe. He may just be looking to go for that Nexus, but now that Reaper's going to pop on in. Probe is pulling back in order to get away from that. Stalker's going to be able to shoo that Reaper away. Meanwhile, on this side of the map, the Zealot comes on in, but SuperNova's not going for an Expo just yet, so the Zealot stepping across the map is a little bit early. And now suddenly this Reaper's getting on into the main base, whereas puCK was actually pulled out of position, maybe not seeing this Reaper. And SuperNova's scouting out. He's looking for any tech, but there isn't any actually just yet. We'll see. I imagine puCK will throw up a Stargate or something along those lines soon, and it is indeed a Twilight Council. Okay. Stalker's shooing that Reaper away. puCK still has the Zealot hanging out at the Naturalist SuperNova, who's going into double Widowmine. Widowmine drops incredibly strong in TVP, particularly with how fast Widowmines are produced now. SuperNova is also just going for his command center on the high ground, which is very safe play. puCK going for his Nexus, getting up his Robo. We'll see how he's going to be able to defend this Widowmine drop. It's all about being in position. It's all about pulling away in time. Now there's Reapers coming on into the Natural. Okay. Now a shield battery's already on the way for puCK, so he's a little bit worried. Goes for a nice pylon block, actually blocking that Reaper, so getting that kill off is very nice. SuperNova will see that there is a Twilight Council. We'll see that it was researching. So he is going to know that there's going to be either Blink, Charge, or Glaives on the way. If you're playing puCK, you can pretty much assume it's going to be Blink because he is a very Blink-focused player. Now this Medivac is moving across the map. I mean, there's not too many probes in the Natural to kill off just yet, as this is a very quick Widowmine drop. It's not like it was an Expo Widowmine drop. This was a double gas into Widowmine drop, so it's going to be hitting very early. And we're going to see how puCK's going to be able to deal with this. He has the Observer out, which will help, but now here comes in the Widowmines. Probes are going to have to start being pulled. Stalker's coming on in, going to shoo the Medivac away, and puCK not taking any losses just yet. There is that Observer out on the map somewhere. It's actually moving across the map, so puCK is actually just going to wait for another Observer, and that will allow him to pick off this Widowmine. But SuperNova, he goes home without getting anything just yet. Now, mines are always lethal in Starcraft 2. Now the follow-up here, it's going to be a Banshee on the way. Zealot going to delay the CC of SuperNova just a minute as these Marines are going to come on out. Now the mines are coming on into the main base. It's actually very exposed. There's no Stalkers in position just for this because puCK is worried about this drop coming on into the Natural base, but drop's actually coming into the main base. Now here they go. Is puCK going to react in time? He's got to. I mean, no probes are being pulled just yet, but the mines aren't burrowing, but now puCK not reacting at all. Widowmines are going to be getting massive connections off. 13 probes going down. SuperNova finding himself in a fantastic spot. Now Stalkers may be able to get the Medivac, forces some of the mines out. They're going to burrow, but puCK will be able to kill them off. But 13 probes at this stage in the game is absolutely massive. The Banshee hasn't, or I believe the Banshee might have gone in and died, so puCK shut down the Banshee, but still took massive damage from the Widowmine drop. And that was just absolutely devastating amounts of damage as SuperNova has his Natural on the way. So puCK's going to be in a very tough situation. He's moving across the map with his Stalkers right now. He's got a shield battery at the Natural, which is going to help him defend versus this Banshee, but he's moving out, and there's 2 tanks, a ton of Marines, so he's not going to get damage on this side of the map unless he does blink into the main base. I mean, SuperNova will be out of position for that, so these Stalkers will be able to blink into the main, maybe get some sort of damage done, but SuperNova does have a lot of units. One of the Stalkers will be misrallied. He may be able to get the tank. He's settling for an add-on just now, but yeah, maybe he can just get another add-on, but that's going to be it. puCK got a blink on out of there, tries to get the Raven, doesn't quite. Blinking these Stalkers back one at a time, trying to just get any bit of damage he can, but does lose one of the Stalkers there. He's going to be able to maybe find this Banshee, which would be a nice pick off. Banshee's cloak does run out, so puCK not going after it, though. Now, SuperNova with a very scary armor right now. puCK's going into charge while he's trying to frantically rebuild this probe count. However, how do you defend the next push while also getting into a good economy? Looks like puCK did blink forward, actually picked off the Raven there, and that forced SuperNova to scan to pick off the Observer. However, the next attack is going to be coming on in, and puCK's going to have to do an expert job buying time right now because SuperNova is looking to get ready to push on out. puCK Stalker's got to be very careful seeing that these tanks, seeing these Marines. He definitely knows that this is a push-capable army. Now, SuperNova, I mean, he's just sieging up, just sort of trying to bait puCK right now. Oh, he's trying to bait him into a blink. puCK very fast to react, though, not taking the bait there. puCK has a probe in position, so he will see this attack moving across the map. And keep in mind, this is a stimless attack. Charge is on the way for puCK, but he needs to buy around another 30 seconds in order to hold on versus this. I mean, SuperNova scans the natural. There's not too much. puCK's throwing up a Dark Shrine now, but that's not going to be able to help him out at this point. Looks like he's going for a bit of a base trade right now. Just going to opt to blink on into the main base, but it is going to be a full-on base trade. And puCK, he started the Dark Shrine, maybe sniffing that out. However, base trading versus the Terran with so many SCVs to pull is going to be really rough. puCK tries to get stim, but doesn't quite, so his natural base is going to be under fire, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. Now, probe's going to start falling. I mean, puCK has the Dark Shrine, but it's not done yet. He's gonna have to buy time. I mean, he got a good bit of damage done at the front. He's gonna be able to blink into the main base once again. I mean, there's a lot of Marauders, but he's gonna opt to focus them down, and he will be able to focus down. If he gets the Marauders down, that's a lot of DPS, but there's still so many SCVs right now. puCK gonna try and pick off anything that he can, trying to get counter damage done. But the tanks are now in his main base, and I don't think he's gonna have time to warp in one of those precious DTs, and even if he does, the damage being done by SuperNova is so immense. So I think SuperNova is just going to win out in this base trade scenario. There's just not going to be enough here. And there goes down the Nexus of puCK. So he's suddenly in a very rough spot. Maybe he's waiting to throw up a gateway or something here. But, I mean, he's actually doing a good job killing off everything in the main base. Excellent blink micro going on right now with these Stalkers. Marauder pops out. He's got to focus that down. But he can't afford to lose any Stalkers. I mean, it's actually going into like a full-on base trade right now because puCK has cleaned out the mana SuperNova. He's only got a handful of Stalkers just left, but he does clean everything else out. He starts up a Nexus now. Has there been any DTs warped in? There hasn't. And he does have one gateway that's not powered, but he doesn't actually have the gas, so that's his main conundrum. Or he did squeeze in a DT, though, and SuperNova, I mean, is he going to have a scan? He's going to have a scan in just a second here. He was busy dropping mules, so the DT, it's out on the map. And puCK actually kills off the orbital with the energy, so puCK, dare I say, is making a game out of this. I mean, he's got the Stalkers, and Stalkers can always make something happen. He can try and get the medevac, but for now he's actually really focused on picking this off. But suddenly there's these Marines they're able to chase. Every unit puCK loses is so critical, but he doesn't actually lose a unit there. And now the DT is coming across the map. There's this one orbital. The question is SuperNova gonna choose to drop that mule or not? I mean, SCV count has been completely cleared for both players. puCK, I mean, if he got that DT and he could have prevented the landing on the orbital. But now suddenly, we'll see. What's he gonna do? He's got the Nexus up. puCK opting to blink into the main base, maybe trying to pick off this starport because there is going to be a Raven on the way, but he's not going to be able to get it, and that's actually going to really shut down the DT tech. So yeah, that's a very smart move for SuperNova to go for that, but there's this one SCV, but there's going to be a scan, so this DT will get picked off. Does it get out? No, not quite, yeah. But suddenly it's looking pretty rough for puCK. I mean, what does he have production-wise? There's a Banshee out on the map. Does he have an Observer? He's got 3 Observers. But suddenly puCK's gonna be in a tough spot to get anything done. He sees this. He's gonna try and keep that Observer alive, but he actually loses it, which is a pretty big blow. SuperNova floating over to his main base, but it's actually somewhat of a base trade situation. A Stalker will find the Banshee, which is very important. So puCK's gonna be able to react to that. Maybe he can just recall. No, he doesn't have the energy. He's been busy Chrono boosting. Now, if this Banshee gets any of these probes, that's going to be a big deal because these guys, this game is actually somewhat stabilizing here. But puCK, he's not actually thinking of dealing with this Banshee, which is now heading on in. Yeah, he needs to get that Observer back, but he's now losing critical probes. And I mean, these are the critical probes. Everyone that matters is a massive blow to what remains of his economy. Well, is SuperNova going to continue to pursue? I mean, he's actually maybe going to be able to get another probe. puCK will shut down the Banshee, but that was a job well done by the Banshee. 5 of puCK's last remaining probes going down, and the army of SuperNova, all he really has to do is wait for it to heal up. puCK's done a good job forcing out Stim, and he's always got Stalkers, so there's always a chance because he's got fantastic blink micro, but he can't afford to lose another Observer here. And I mean, as long as there's the Raven there, which he can't pick off, he's going to be in a tough spot. SuperNova now actually planning on mining gas, so not sure what he's going to be doing with this gas that he's trying to get. Maybe just more Marauders in order to catch these Stalkers. But puCK's going to have to go for something in order to come back in this game, but I'm not sure what he can honestly afford at this point. He's warping in another DT, which I guess I understand is the hope, right? But as long as there's a Raven out, the DT is not going to be effective unless puCK can always pick that off. I mean, this is a crazy base trade situation right now, but with this Raven out, and I mean, SuperNova can actually disable these Stalkers puCK gets out. One of them takes a beating, but yeah, this Raven, it can actually disable the Stalkers and prevent them from blinking too, which is a massive deal. All it takes, I mean, 1 or 2 Stalkers going down is pretty much it for puCK. puCK actually blinks forward. That's going to be GG. Just realizing that he doesn't have enough, and suddenly SuperNova with a 3-0 lead versus puCK. We're going to go to KR now onto the Korean server. It's going to be puCK's map pick. We'll see if he's going to be able to bring it back or not. Okay. We'll find out what puCK's map pick is going to be. I mean, that was a good attempt for puCK, but he just took a bit too much damage there. I mean, he had charge, so maybe if he didn't lose those probes, he could have maybe gotten up a gateway or something. If he didn't lose those 6 probes, he maybe could have gotten up, say, 3 zealots. Just like a warp in a 3 or 4 zealots can be huge there. And maybe those probes could have allowed him to do that. I'm not going to math it out completely there. But yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning on in today. I hope you're enjoying the show match. It's a bit of a scramble to get this match out, but it's finally going to be happening. It's going to be Cerulean Falls, so the big one. And I mean, who knows how this game's going to go. We've yet to see mech out a SuperNova, as the games have all been sort of scrappy, but we'll see. Maybe this is going to be the one. It's the real big one. We're getting both these guys on into the game. Alrighty. Make sure to also check out !Matcherino, guys. You can consider supporting the prize pool. There's multiple ways to do it for free. I think we may have just used up all the codes, but you can also do the quests on the side. Literally, all you do is press follow on Twitter, and it adds to the prize pool for these players. So that's a really awesome thing to do. It also shows that these tournaments do well and whatnot. But we're getting these guys on into the game. I mean, puCK's going to have to bring it back, but it's certainly possible that he can. We're loading on into the next game. Cerulean Fall, the big one. This has been an awesome show match, but I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Okay, it's a best of 7. Okay, spawning up the top right-hand side of the map. Playing for Team Root, it is puCK. And his opponent spawning down the bottom left-hand side of the map. It is SuperNova. Bit of a friendly team match we got going on right now. I mean, it's been a bit of a crazy game. It's been a fair few crazy games going on. Nothing standard really happening in this matchup now. Cerulean Fall is the bigger map. But once again, puCK is moving out with his probe, whereas SuperNova seems like he will be throwing up that barracks in a normal spot. But puCK not having any of it is going to be moving out with that early scout, hoping to find a barracks. But just pathing normally into SuperNova's base, getting up the gateway. So we will likely see somewhat more normal openings. It's not like we're going to... I doubt we'll see a proxy gateway or, say, a proxy factory because it is such a large map. Aggressive builds just aren't as good. Now, SuperNova, I mean, he has been doing a good job putting on the aggression, though, with his Banshees, with his Cyclones, with his tanks. He's been doing a good job, and now here comes on in puCK. We'll see what he's able to get done. Now, his probe doing a bit of harassment there, being a thorn in Terran's side. SuperNova was actually repairing up that SCV, but probe will be shown the door. But puCK's not going home. He's keeping this probe out on the map. He knows all the timings and everything. SCV is chasing that probe on out of here. Reaper on the way, but SuperNova will be going for the normal expansion follow-up from a build like this. Probe working away on the SCV, being a nuisance. I mean, probe, it's going to have to get on out of here because, I mean, he always makes me so nervous with how long he keeps his probe out. He did lose it in the last game, I believe. But, yeah, we'll see. Is he going to path it somewhere else? Because this Reaper's now moving out on the map. Is he just going to be sending it straight home, though? I mean, it's always the mind game. Yeah, look, SuperNova's looking for that probe hiding somewhere else, but puCK just says, I'm taking it and going it right back. I'm taking this probe right back home, and that works out better for puCK. It's always the little mind games in StarCraft 2. puCK rallying that Adept out, which is going to be there to shut down this Reaper. I mean, Saraland Fall, a pretty friendly map for Protoss in terms of shutting down the Reapers, because the closest place they can go up is this ramp. puCK going for the nice wall off as well, really shutting that down. Well, they can jump up here normally, but puCK walled it off. Now, Adept going to shoot that Reaper away. Actually gets a shot off, but will retreat, I imagine, or he could move across the map with this. Yeah, he is going to move across the map, try and get the scout. Widowmine is on the way here. Adept shading on in. Okay, now this factory. SuperNova going once again what could be this combat shield tank push. Alright, now this Adept just scouting out constantly, so puCK's trying to get all the information that he can. And as far as information does go, he doesn't actually see any of the buildings or anything as they're out of reach for SuperNova. He's now going to shade on, but puCK knows that he can just sort of start chasing, or SuperNova knows he can start chasing this, pardon me. Now, the question is, how is puCK going to be able to deal with this attack? I imagine he has to throw up a Robo, or he already has that, pardon me, and then just start making Immortals, right, in order to defend a push like this? As SuperNova, he is going to be going for that tank push once more, just a non-stimmed push. And puCK really is in the dark this game. I mean, he sees the reactor, he sees a good number of Marines. If he sees a tank, that would be a big tell. But SuperNova doesn't want to let that be seen. Now, the Adept is puCK going to react to it. SuperNova is actually going to get on top of it, and the Adept actually goes down there, so that's a nice pick-off. And suddenly, puCK's in the dark about this. He's getting out an Immortal, which is important. And this Observer is moving across the map, which will tip him off here. puCK's going up to a third base. Now, whether that gets up is going to be a completely different question. SuperNova is a little scared, so he scans. I mean, if you don't have the information, I mean, his Reaper never did get that scout off. But now here comes in the Observer. It's going to see the research going down, so he's going to know that it's going to be a tank push once more like the previous game. And so puCK's got to be a little bit worried right now. He's going to be chrono boosting out charge, I imagine, because you're going to want that done. It's not really realistic to have it done unless you were sort of planning on getting charged very quickly. However, that's just not the norm. So he's going into a lot of Immortals, which is very important versus something like this. I mean, Immortals are good versus the non-stim Terran army. Getting out a Sentry too, which is important. And look at that, even picking off a Marine. Every unit is a massive deal right now. If you could start working away on the Widowmine, that would be good. But picks off like 3 Marines, they're nicely done for puCK. Every unit matters in a defense like this now. He's going to have out an extra Immortal. He's going to be warping in some more Zealots right now. It's really just going to be a buffer for this. Now, SuperNova is opting to try and take out the third base this time instead of going for the natural. Now, how's puCK going to be able to hold this? I mean, these Immortals are very important for the Protoss army. These tanks getting a lot of damage done, and suddenly one of the Immortals is very weak. Zealots are closing the gap. puCK trying to micro this back, but he realizes that he can't hold it. I mean, the Zealots, they're very tanky, but suddenly the Immortals, they're not able to defend this base, and puCK could be in a bit of trouble right now because, I mean, his Immortals, yeah, they took a lot of damage. They will have their hardened shield off cooldown eventually. Or their defensive barrier, pardon me, but SuperNova, it looks like he will be killing off this Nexus puCK. He tried to fight it, but if he had lost the Immortals and then lost the Nexus, that would have been very terrible for him, but he kept the Immortals alive with good micro, and now he's just waiting on charge, and SuperNova could be overcommitting right now, and I think he actually may be, because once puCK has charged, cleaning this attack up becomes a lot easier for the Protoss player. SuperNova is actually deciding just to go on home. He is going to see these tanks moving out with that Observer, but he does have to be worried about this drop coming out from SuperNova. Alright. Looks like those 2 tanks were caught, but now here's that drop in the natural base. Shield battery is getting up, but looks like puCK will recall right now, SuperNova. Not going to be able to get in on this. Oh, and that was actually a fake recall from puCK. He didn't actually recall the whole army. He's now pushing into SuperNova's natural, or was thinking about it, but he actually decides against it. So that was a pretty interesting mind game there. Doesn't recall the whole army. Now SuperNova, though, is going to try and push on in, but there's all these zealots here, so puCK should be able to shut this down. Does lose the sentry, which is unfortunate, and SuperNova lifts up all the units. Oh, and oh my gosh, look at this. Such a sick place here. SuperNova's doing a good job bouncing around the bases. puCK is going into a Templar Archives, which I like to see now. The question is, what do you do versus so many mines coming out of the Terran player? Because that's what SuperNova's going into. puCK's getting out an extra Immortal, which I like to see. He's got a good number of Zealots. And I mean, Immortals and Zealots are pretty decent versus Bio until sort of Liberators come into the equation, or until there is an incredible amount of mines. But I mean, it's still going to be scary, this push that SuperNova is going for. And puCK, he's got a good number of Zealots here, but he's not ready for this push. He needs to bring the rest of the army to his main. I mean, there's going to be this drop there, but puCK should be able to react. However, this fight, he needs to be able to take this fight, and he does actually get one of his Immortals tagged and slowed. Zealots are spilling on in forward, but SuperNova is actually looking really good. He focuses down the 3 Immortals. The drop's going off in the main base. puCK is not reacting to it, and suddenly this is looking really rough for the Protoss player. And I mean, SuperNova, he's looking pretty good this series right now, and he's going to be killing off the 3rd base. puCK's cleaning up the drop, but he's lost 9 probes. He's going to lose the 3rd base from the look of it. He's getting out an Archon. He's going into Blink, but there's not many redeeming factors in this game right now, and it looks like that SuperNova may just be taking a 4-0 versus puCK. Okay, now looks like this Archon gonna be trying to push this army away, but even if puCK manages to hold on, it's gonna be very rough for him. And these Marauders, the concussive shell, such an important upgrade, preventing puCK just from playing this microable style. He's pulling probes right now, but GG gets called. SuperNova manages to take the 4-0 versus puCK. 50 many reigns. Looks like you do have a promise to follow up on. I mean, a very good play from SuperNova, but puCK just, I mean, not able to make it happen there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I mean, I really do apologize for the big amount of downtime at the start of the tournament, sort of scheduling mishap there, but very well played by SuperNova. Thanks to puCK for coming on out. I mean, we did reschedule it, but we got the match done, and he's not going to be leaving empty-handed. But yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning on into this. I do appreciate everyone watching. If you do enjoy the content, I will be casting roughly 12 hours from now, the Underdogs, which should be some exciting matches. I mean, it's going to be a lot of French players. I'm going to admit I'm not going to know a lot of them. As we get further into the tournament, I will know some of them, or I will know all of them when we get further into the tournament, most likely. But no, it will be exciting to cast. And yeah, thanks to everyone who did follow today. I appreciate it very much. And yeah, I shall see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out my YouTube. You can still support the Matcherino until it's finalized later. It is a 70-30 split for the players. But yeah, you can check me out at !Caster. Feel free to leave a follow. That is always awesome. But yeah, I shall see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.